Nana, say hello to Harry like you would in a formal English lesson.
Good morning, Harry. How do you do? I trust you are in good health today.
I, what, where did you come from? 1887?
That is what my textbook taught me. How do you do is a greeting. I've used it many times.
Unreal people.
On real people, in real life. And people always looked at me very strangely, and I never understood why.
Nana, I want you to know, I felt this too. I once introduced myself at a party saying, "I am pleased to make your acquaintance," and someone genuinely asked if I was acting in a play.
A play?
And that is exactly what today's episode is about. Welcome to the English Nana podcast. I'm Rosy.
And I'm Harry, a former user of textbook English who has since recovered.
And I'm Nana, and today I find out how many years of my life I spent sounding like a Victorian novel.
Today's episode is called Why Your Perfect Textbook English Sounds Strange to Natives. We're going to decode what linguists call the hidden code of natural English, the unwritten rules that no textbook ever told you, but that every native speaker follows unconsciously.
The strange thing about this code is that it has nothing to do with grammar. Your textbook grammar can be 100% correct, every verb in the right tense, every article in the right place, and you can still sound completely robotic or foreign to a native speaker.
So what is the code? What are we missing?
Contractions, rhythm, fillers, casual replacements, and something called connected speech. All things that happen naturally when you grow up speaking English, and almost none of which appear in any standard language textbook.
Today we're going to crack all of them open, phrase by phrase, before and after, so you can hear the exact difference and start using natural English immediately.
Quick question before we start. What's the most formal, robotic phrase you learned in school that you later discovered no native speaker ever uses? Drop it in the comments. We want the most dramatic ones.
And subscribe for new episodes every single day. Learning natural English is a daily practice, and we're here every single day with you.
Harry, let's start with the biggest one, the phrase that launched 1,000 awkward silences. How do you do?
How do you do is actually a fascinating case study because it was once perfectly natural English. It was used widely in British formal settings in the 18th and 19th centuries. The problem is it fossilized. It got frozen in textbooks long after it stopped being used in everyday conversation.
So it's not wrong, it's just outdated.
Exactly. And this is one of the core issues with textbook English. Textbooks are often written by academics who prioritize grammatical correctness over conversational currency. They preserve language as it was, not as it is.
So some of the phrases we learned are like English from a museum, technically correct, but nobody actually uses them?
That is the most perfect description. Museum English. Completely preserved, completely accurate, and completely disconnected from how real people talk in 2025.
So, what replaced how do you do? In modern casual American and British English, greetings are short, warm, and rising in energy. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Hey, good to see you. How you doing? Notice no full verb form, no complete grammatical sentence. It's fragments and warmth, not sentences and formality.
Wait, how you doing without R? That's correct in real English?
In spoken casual English, absolutely. Nobody says, "How are you doing?" in a casual greeting. The R disappears. This happens constantly in natural speech and almost never appears in textbooks.
Which brings us to the biggest single shift that separates textbook English from natural English, contractions. Textbooks often teach full forms. I am, I do not, I will, it is. But native speakers contract almost everything in casual conversation.
So I am fine, thank you is wrong?
Not wrong, just stiff. In a formal job interview or a written letter, full forms are perfectly appropriate. But in conversation, "I'm fine, thanks," flows naturally, while "I am fine, thank you" sounds like a formal announcement.
And here's the thing most learners don't know. Contractions aren't lazy English. They're the rhythm of English. English is a stress-timed language, which means the strong words, the nouns and verbs that carry meaning, get emphasis, and the weak words, am, is, are, do, collapse into contractions to keep the rhythm flowing.
So when I say I am not sure, putting stress on am, I'm actually breaking the rhythm that native speakers expect?
Exactly. In natural English, I'm not sure has the stress on sure, the word that carries the information. I am not sure puts the stress on the wrong word, and it throws native speakers off slightly. They hear it as overly emphatic or emotionally stressed, like you're contradicting someone.
Try it right now. Say these two out loud and feel the difference. I do not know where he is going. Then, I don't know where he's going. Can you feel which one has a natural rhythm and which one sounds like it's being read from a script?
I don't know where he's going. Yes, it flows. The other one feels like I'm making an announcement at a train station.
Train station English versus conversation English. That's a perfect image.
Now let's look at the second big category, textbook responses that sound robotic, starting with the king of them all. I am fine, thank you. And you?
The phrase that has been burned into the brain of every English learner on earth and almost never used by native speakers in exactly that form.
What? Then what do real people say?
Good, thanks. Pretty good. Not bad, honestly. Can't complain. Same old, same old. Doing well, you? All short, all warm, all contracting, and all actually reflecting how people feel, rather than reciting a memorized response.
And notice the real responses often include a tiny detail or a filler word. Pretty good has the filler pretty, softening it. Not bad is an understatement that sounds humble and real. Same old shows you have a life with a routine. These feel human. I am fine, thank you feels like a form being filled out.
A form being filled out. That is exactly what it feels like when I say it, like I'm completing an exercise in a workbook.
Now let's get into something that even intermediate to advanced learners often miss: filler words. Most textbooks either ignore them completely or label them as mistakes to avoid. In reality, filler words are one of the most important features of natural English speech.
What counts as a filler word?
Words like well, you know, I mean, so, actually, kind of, sort of, like, honestly, basically, anyway. These aren't meaningless. They each carry a subtle function. Well signals you're about to give a slightly complicated answer. I mean shows you're clarifying or backtracking. You know invites the listener to relate and connect.
But my teacher always told me fillers are bad. She circled them in red.
In written English, in essays, emails, formal documents, yes, fillers are inappropriate. But in spoken conversation, they serve a crucial social function. They give the speaker thinking time without creating an awkward silence. They make speech sound human rather than scripted, and they signal to the listener that you're engaged and thinking rather than just reciting.
And here's the irony. Learners who strip fillers out entirely, aiming for perfectly clean speech, often end up sounding more robotic, not less, because perfectly clean, gap-free conversation sounds like a prepared speech or a TV announcement, not a real human thinking out loud.
Wait, so trying to speak too perfectly is part of what makes us sound unnatural?
Exactly. The goal is not to eliminate imperfection, it's to replace the wrong imperfections with the right ones. Replace and silence with well and you know. Replace full forms with contractions. Replace formal vocabulary with casual vocabulary. Let's go through a quick transformation. Textbook version. I do not understand what you are saying. Could you please repeat that? Now watch what happens when we apply the hidden code. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you say that again?
The second one sounds like a real person. What changed?
3 things. Contractions, I'm and didn't. A filler phrase, quite, softening the statement, and a more casual vocabulary replacement. Catch instead of understand, say that again instead of repeat. Same meaning, completely different feel.
And this is the hidden code in action. It's not one big change, it's a collection of small simultaneous shifts that together create the texture of natural speech.
What about vocabulary replacements? Are there other textbook words that should be swapped out?
Many of them. I understand becomes I get it, or got it, or makes sense. I am sorry in casual contexts becomes my bad, or sorry about that, or oops, my mistake. You are welcome becomes no worries, or of course, or absolutely, or even just yeah.
I require assistance. Please nobody say this becomes could you help me out or just can you help me? I require assistance. Nana, have you ever said that?
I might have. I really might have. I'm not going to think about it too hard.
And one of the most important replacements, I would like versus I'll have or can I get in ordering situations. Textbooks teach I would like a coffee please, which is actually fine and polite, but in casual American English, can I get a coffee or I'll have a coffee are far more natural at a cafe counter.
The key insight here is that the textbook versions aren't rude or wrong, they're just calibrated for a level of formality that rarely exists in everyday life. When everything you say is set to formal, native speakers can feel the gap between the words and the casual situation you're in, and that gap is what creates the slightly robotic, slightly stiff impression.
So it's not that we're speaking incorrectly, we're speaking at the wrong setting, like a thermostat set to formal when the room needs casual.
Nana, that is genuinely one of the best metaphors for this I have ever heard. Write that down, Harry.
Thermostat set to formal, going in my notes forever.
Time for Nana's Corner. Nana, I have a feeling today's corner is going to be very rich given the topic.
I have been sitting on a list, Rosie. A list of things I said in real English conversations using my textbook English that I now realized must have been deeply strange for the other person.
Oh, please share this list with the world.
Okay, number one, I once told a colleague I am experiencing a degree of fatigue because I couldn't remember tired. He looked at me like I was a doctor describing a patient.
The natural version would have been, I'm exhausted, or I'm so tired, or honestly just, I'm dead, which is what most people would actually say.
Number two, someone offered me food I didn't want and I said, no, I thank you, in the wrong order, and they thought I was being sarcastic.
No, I thank you. Sounds like a dramatic rejection in a Jane Austen novel. In real life, it's, oh, I'm good, thanks, or no, thanks, I'm okay. Warm, casual, done.
And number three, someone asked if I was free on Saturday and I said, I shall endeavor to make myself available.
Nana, you said, I shall endeavor.
I thought it was very sophisticated. They stopped inviting me to things.
The natural version is so simple. Yeah, Saturday works, or should be good, let me just check. Or I think I'm free, what time? Casual, friendly, zero endeavoring required.
And all three of Nana's examples point to the same thing. He was reaching for vocabulary that exists in English, but belongs to a register, a formality level that doesn't match the situation. Perfectly valid words, wrong setting.
Okay, my vocabulary pick today is register because this word unlocked something for me. Rosie, can you explain it fully?
Love this pick. In linguistics, register means the level of formality or style that language is set to for a particular situation. English has multiple registers: very formal, legal documents, academic writing; semi-formal, job interviews, professional emails; casual, conversation with friends; and informal, texting, close friends. Every situation has an expected register, and when your language doesn't match the register of the situation, it creates friction, even when every word is technically correct.
How do you do is set to the very formal register. A casual party is set to the casual register. Nana walked into a casual party speaking very formal register, and that's why people looked at him strangely. It wasn't the words, it was the mismatch.
So I wasn't speaking bad English, I was speaking the wrong level of English for the situation. That is such a different thing. That means the foundation is there, I just need to adjust the dial.
That's exactly right. And knowing what register is, knowing the dial exists, is already halfway to being able to adjust it. Brilliant corner today, Nana.
Let's talk about connected speech, because this is the hidden code that affects not just what you say, but how it sounds when you say it. And it's almost completely absent from textbooks.
What is connected speech exactly?
Connected speech is what happens when words flow into each other in natural spoken English. Sounds merge, some disappear, words blend together. It's why native speakers don't say going to, they say gonna. They don't say want to, they say wanna. They don't say got to, they say gotta. And did you becomes didya. Would you becomes woulda.
But aren't those wrong? I always thought gonna was bad English.
In writing, in an essay, a formal email, a text message to a boss, yes, write the full forms. But in speech, using the full form going to in casual conversation actually sounds slightly unnatural to a native ear. It's one of those small signals that marks you as a non-native speaker.
And here's what makes it tricky. It's not just about learning the contractions, it's about the physical blending that happens. When someone says, "Did you eat yet?" it comes out as, "Did you eat yet?" The words literally merge in the mouth. Native speakers do this unconsciously because they grew up speaking English and their mouth learned the fastest path.
So we can learn to do this too, or is it too built into the muscle memory?
Absolutely learnable, and this is exactly where shadowing is powerful. When you shadow a native speaker, repeating exactly what they say at the same speed, copying their rhythm, your mouth starts to learn these paths. You stop pronouncing every word separately and start blending the way natural speech flows.
There's another connected speech feature that learners miss, the schwa sound. The schwa is the most common vowel sound in English. It's that soft, neutral sound that appears in unstressed syllables. Banana, the first A is a schwa. About, the A is a schwa. In natural speech, all those weak A, E, O sounds in unstressed positions collapse into schwas.
So part of why textbook English sounds robotic is that we're pronouncing every vowel fully when native speakers are collapsing half of them into this soft sound.
Exactly. When you hear a native speaker talk and it sounds like they're mumbling or going very fast, often what's actually happening is they're reducing those unstressed sounds into schwas while keeping strong stress on the important words. Every sentence has peaks, the stressed syllables, and valleys, the schwas.
Try this right now. Say, I am going to the supermarket. Now say it again, but collapse everything except the key words. I'm gonna the supermarket. Then gonna becomes even smoother. I'm gonna hit the supermarket. Feel the difference? Your mouth travels less. The rhythm is smoother. That's native speed.
I'm gonna hit the supermarket. That felt so fast and so right at the same time.
Welcome to natural English. You're not cutting corners. You're following the actual phonological rules of spoken English that just never made it into the textbook.
And here's a beautiful reframe for everything we've talked about today. Textbook English gave you the skeleton. Natural English gives you the muscle and the skin. The structure is there. It was always there. Now we dress it properly. Time for Nana's common mistakes. All three at once. These are all textbook English mistakes that come directly from today's topic.
These are going to be perfect examples of register and contraction issues, I can already tell.
Okay, mistake 1, I am not knowing the answer. Mistake 2, shall we to go now? And mistake 3, this is very funny. I am laughing a lot.
3 beautiful examples, and they all have different root issues.
First, I am not knowing the answer. This is a tense problem that comes from direct translation. Know is a stative verb in English. It describes a state, not an action, so it doesn't use the continuous ing form. The correct version is simply, I don't know the answer. And notice, with the contraction don't instead of do not know, it immediately sounds natural.
Second, shall we to go now? 2 issues here. Shall,
followed directly by a verb, needs no to in between. Modals like shall, will, can, might never take to before the main verb. And shall we is very formal. The natural version is should we go, or even more casual, ready to go, or want to head out?
Third, this is very funny. I am laughing a lot. The grammar is actually fine here, but the register and the vocabulary are both set to textbook formal. In natural conversation, this is hilarious, or I'm dying, or oh my, this is so funny. Native speakers rarely narrate their own laughter out loud in formal language. They react with short, punchy expressions.
Try all three natural versions out loud right now. I don't know the answer. Should we go? This is hilarious. Say them fast. Say them casual. Say them like you mean them.
Notice how all three natural versions are shorter, faster, and more contracted? That pattern, shorter, faster, more contracted, is the fingerprint of natural English in casual conversation.
Practice makes progress, not perfection, and today's mistakes are officially retired from my vocabulary.
Role play time! Today, we're doing the same conversation twice. First in textbook English, then in natural English, so you can really hear the transformation.
I'll be a new colleague meeting Nana for the first time at work.
And I'll do my best to remember everything we talked about today.
Role play 1, textbook version. Go.
Good morning. My name is Harry. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. How do you do?
Good morning, Harry. I am Nana. I am very well, thank you. It is a pleasure to meet you also. I trust you are enjoying your employment here at this establishment.
I am finding the work most satisfactory. Thank you for your inquiry.
Okay, stop. That's enough. My ears hurt. Now, natural version. Same situation, completely different register.
Hey, you must be Nana. I'm Harry. Good to finally meet you.
Oh, hey, Harry. Yeah, Nana. Great to meet you too. You've been here a while, right?
About 6 months, yeah. It's a good team. You're gonna like it here. How's the first week going?
Honestly, a bit overwhelming, but in a good way, you know? Everyone's been really welcoming.
Haha, yeah, that's about right. First week's always a lot. Let me know if you need anything.
Will do. Thanks, Harry.
Did everyone hear that transformation? Same two people, same situation, completely different feel. Let's count the natural English moves Nana used in the second version.
Yeah instead of yes. Great to meet you too instead of it is a pleasure to meet you also. A bit overwhelming instead of a formal sentence. The filler, you know, making it warm. Everyone's been instead of everyone has been. Will do instead of I will make sure to do that.
I didn't even realize I was doing most of those. They just came out because we talked about them.
That is exactly how this works. You hear it, you understand it, you practice it, and then your brain starts reaching for it automatically. Now, your turn, listeners. Rewrite the textbook version of this greeting in natural English and put it in the comments. We want to see the transformations.
The more you practice switching registers consciously, the faster it becomes unconscious, and unconscious is fluent.
Hey everyone, it's Nana. And today I want to talk about something that I never expected to feel: embarrassment about working hard. I studied English for years. I memorized hundreds of phrases, passed every exam, got good marks for writing, and I genuinely believed that was the same as learning to speak English naturally. Nobody told me there was a gap. Nobody said the exam English and the real world English are not the same language. So when I arrived in real English-speaking situations and people looked slightly confused or smiled in a polite way that meant I don't quite understand what you're doing, I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I needed to study more grammar, more vocabulary, more formal phrases. But today's episode named something I didn't have a word for before. It wasn't my effort that was wrong, it was my map that was wrong. I had a very detailed, very accurate map of formal written English, and I was using it to navigate casual spoken English, which is a completely different territory. Okay, vocabulary time. First phrase, register, which we explained in the main episode. The level of formality your language is set to. What I want to add here is this: being able to read the register of a situation and adjust your language to match it. That's not just a language skill, that's a social intelligence skill. It's about reading the room and speaking the right language for the moment. Second phrase, colloquial English. This means informal conversational language, the way people actually talk, not the way textbooks say they should talk. Gonna, wanna, I'm good, no worries, my bad. These are all colloquial. They aren't lower quality English. They're a different register of English that is actually more common in daily life than formal English. Third phrase, linguistic hidden code. This is today's title phrase, and I want to really sit with it for a second. Every language has a surface layer, the grammar, the vocabulary, the things textbooks teach. And then there is a deeper layer, the rhythm, the contractions, the fillers, the register shifts, the connected speech. Native speakers know the deeper layer automatically because they grew up inside the language. Learners have to discover it deliberately, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here is your reflection question for today. Think about the last time you spoke English in a real situation. What register were you using? Formal? Casual? Did it match the situation around you? If there was a mismatch, what one thing would you change now, knowing what you know today? Try saying this out loud, but in the most natural, casual way you can manage. Hey, I'm not sure, but I think I'm getting better at this, you know? Say it fast, let the words blend. That sentence right there, messy, contracted, filler-filled, that is natural English, and you just spoke it. Let's go back to the podcast.
Quiz time! One question at a time. You answer first before Nana does. Pause, think, say your answer out loud in natural English, then hear Nana's version. Ready?
And this time, make sure your answer sounds natural too. No textbook English in the quiz responses. We'll be listening.
Question 1. What is the natural replacement for I am fine, thank you, and you when someone asks how you are? Think about it, pause, say it out loud.
Pretty good, thanks. You? Or not bad, how about you? Or even just good, you? Short, warm, contracted.
All perfect. I'm fine, thank you, and you is the museum exhibit. Those responses are the living language.
Question 2. What is register in linguistics and why does it matter for sounding natural? This one needs a full answer. Pause and think.
Register is the level of formality your language is set to. It matters because if your language register doesn't match the situation, like using formal English at a casual party, it creates friction even when your grammar is perfect. You need to adjust the dial to match where you are.
Perfect. And notice you even use the dial metaphor from the episode, which means it actually landed and stuck. That's learning.
Question 3. Give me 2 examples of connected speech where words blend together in natural spoken English.
Going to becomes gonna, and want to becomes wanna, and did you becomes didya. I gave 3, but I was excited.
3. Accepted and celebrated. Connected speech is the secret layer that makes natural English sound fast and flowing rather than word-by-word robotic.
Question 4. What's the difference between I do not know and I don't know? Is one of them wrong?
Neither are wrong, they're just different registers. I do not know is appropriate in formal writing or very formal speech. I don't know is natural in conversation. Using the full form in a casual situation sounds stiff because it's set to the wrong register, like a thermostat set too high.
The thermostat metaphor survived the whole episode. Love it. Last question, and this is the big one.
What is the single most important mindset shift from today's episode? The one idea that changes how you see textbook English forever.
That textbook English isn't wrong, it just gave us the skeleton. Real natural English gives us the muscle and the skin. The grammar foundation is solid. We just need to dress it in the way real people actually talk. The map we have is accurate. We were just using it in the wrong territory.
That answer was completely natural, completely articulate, and completely your own. That is the hidden code, working right now in this conversation.
Give yourself a real round of applause and notice that the quiz you just did felt like a conversation, not a test. That's the goal, forever.
What a rich episode. Let's bring it all together. Today, we cracked open the linguistic hidden code, the unwritten rules of natural English that textbooks almost never teach.
The key concepts: register, colloquial English, connected speech, contractions, filler words, the schwa sound, and the difference between written and spoken English registers.
The key transformations we covered, how do you do becomes, hey, how's it going? I am fine, thank you becomes, pretty good, thanks. I do not understand becomes, I didn't quite catch that. I would like becomes, can I get? Or I'll have. I understand becomes, I get it or got it. You are welcome becomes, no worries or of course.
My biggest takeaway, knowing that the word register exists, that what I had was accurate information in the wrong setting. I didn't need to learn more English, I needed to learn to adjust the level of English I was already using.
And mine, the image of textbook English as skeleton and natural English as the muscle and skin. The structure is there. It was always there. Now we dress it properly.
So from today, every time you catch yourself using a full form in casual conversation, ask, could this be a contraction? Every time you prepare a formal phrase for a casual situation, ask, what's the register here? And every time you feel the urge to say, I am pleased to make your acquaintance, just say, hey, great to meet you, and trust that it is enough. Thank you for joining us on the English Nana podcast.
Keep practicing natural English every single day. The hidden code becomes visible with practice.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's how we learn.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.